Welcome back, everybody. It's Freelance Teacher. I'm Doug Marola, coming at you again from my secret location in my soundproof studio. I always enjoy those kinds of introductions just because I am in sort of a secret location to some degree, and this studio, for lack of a better word, is soundproof. So that's something. But I always feel the need to share information with you, particularly if you're a teenager or maybe early college. That information that will benefit you, that will really make your navigation through this complicated labyrinth that you're in, make it more easier, make it more better, make it smoother in a way, because I had assumptions for many years that have, in the last 10, 12 years have completely been obliterated. It's 2017. Yeah, probably by 06, 07, things really started to change for me, and I started to realize that the kind of normal way of thinking about others and America and society and history and the mainstream media and economics and government, that those things were, the way I had been thinking was, to be frank, was naive. I was what today they would call a normie. Right? The normies get rattled up and the normies get shaken. And you can see why people who call themselves red-pilled talk that way. Let me give you an example of something that came up the other day on social media. Again, Facebook, the petri dish for foolishness and closed-mindedness. There was someone that had something, a post on this Roy Moore character down south. Apparently he's running for Senate. And the mainstream media at the 11th hour has come up with what I see as, at very best, questionable accusations about him as some kind of perv, pedophile, weirdo, stalker type. And so I don't remember what I put. I put something like, one of these days I'll actually print out what I write, but it's, there's no need, because the point is really the same almost every time. And I wrote something like, yeah, this guy Moore, the problem with this whole situation is that somebody like Al Franken is in the Senate, and he's showing everybody that all you have to do is say you're sorry and everything is okay. Now, the person whose page I'm posting on is a, hardcore Democrat liberal. Man, it's really kind of disappointing. You had at least one woman. There were 3 people who answered. One of them was respectful and asked where I was coming from. I can deal with that. And those people you should converse with. I'm not going to try to teach this person anything, but the person said, please, can you tell me why you feel that the attack on Roy Moore is a hit job, I think is the word I used. Because that's how it looks. There's a Stefan Molyneux podcast where he covers the accusations, and Molyneux is a credible source, and I went and looked up some of the stuff myself, and it looks like a hit piece. It looks like this attack on Moore is the establishment saying, you're not part of the club. We don't want you. You're much too, not so much necessarily a person of character and conservative and moral. No, he's just not part of the club. So anyway, that's another topic. But these people in the response to my thing, one guy was respectful and I answered and gave a link and all of that. But the others were, and I'm not even playing with you, tacitly defending Al Franken. A person where there are pictures, and these people know this, so they can't quite say, well, he's innocent, he didn't do anything, right? There's photos. So check this out. One woman said, Moore is a pedophile and disgusting and sick. I mean, she let it fly. And what Franken did is creepy. And I want you to think about this, because her defense is, that's creepy. Franken is creepy, whereas Moore, and in the real world with the rest of us, the evidence against Moore is shaky. It is just not solid material. No picture, no nothing, no physical evidence, zero. And also silence for 38 years. Which again, I mean, the other people silenced too, so, it's not like it was last week, although the Franken stuff, again, happened 7, 8, 9 years ago. 38 years ago, lady comes out and says, bad stuff happened, I think. So the reason why I titled this what I did, which is, this one I actually wrote down, so you'll be proud of me. The lesson is people do not have ethics or standards when it comes to political topics, because Franken this is the defense, creepy. Now, to use a meme that we have, I know you has better argument than that. That can't be your defense. That can't be right. Al Franken, who there are pictures of him kind of touching and intimating that he was going to touch a woman in her chest, that's creepy. No firing. Stay with your job. It's all good. But the other guy these at least 2 women let it fly that Moore was a pedophile, wacko, child molesting loon. Now, my job, and I do this during the day, is to inform young people that you're going to have this. Because I know what you're thinking. You're like, well, that doesn't make any sense. How can somebody, where there's proof of taking advantage of your position and treating women as objects and things to touch, that is okay in any way? And people are not rational. They're not logical. This is going to be what you're going to see, because Al Franken is a Democrat and fights for women as a Democrat, right? This is the story you get. This is the BS you get. That he's just creepy. That's it. And that's okay. And you realize that they don't have standards, because think about this. Ask them the A Few Good Men question, right? In A Few Good Men, the Tom Cruise character, Lieutenant Caffey, asks the Jack Nicholson character, Colonel Jessup. He asks him, and this is in the movie plot, right? The young Marine has been, the 2 Marines killed by mistake the young Marine. They killed Private First Class Santiago, and they're on trial. And the big shots in the Marine Corps lie about it. And the Tom Cruise character catches Jessup in a lie, and he asks him if PFC Santiago wasn't in any danger, why did they have to transfer him off the base? Right? If you said he's not to be touched, and your rules are always followed, why was he in any danger? Why would he have to be transferred off the base? Right? That someone has painted themselves with their lying and their nonsense, painted themselves into a corner. You now need to see that. So, now I'm not going to do this. I used to do this, but I don't. If you have a lot of energy and you want practice barking at people and sharpening your claws on their face on social media, do this. Now, I don't recommend that, because you're wasting your time. But again, a little practice here and there, and, calling people out and being an edgelord, there's a certain time and place for that. But you could ask them, well, what if Roy Moore were a Democrat? Would you still feel the same way? Or even better, if Al Franken were a Republican senator, should he be allowed to maintain his spot in the Senate? I have a funny feeling you might not get an answer. Because social media, they don't have to answer. Right? You've called them out on their BS. They don't have to answer. But you, as a young person, a teenager, early college, you're going to see this all the time. That's the thing. Look at the presidential campaign, 2015, 2016 was the perfect case for this. Let me explain this to you. You had Hillary Clinton's top aide, Huma Abedin, kind of a mysterious woman, kind of attractive, if you ask me. Good look about her, for sure. And was that sexist? Oh, I got to be careful. But good thing I am who I am, and I'm free. But here's the thing. The top aide for Hillary Clinton, her husband, Anthony Weiner, just serially sending pictures of his privates to women of varying ages. I think some of them were under the age of consent. I think some of them were teenagers. right? I mean, just rapid fire. This guy seemed to have a problem. It was Hillary Clinton's top right-hand person. I mean, this woman, Abedin, was with Clinton all the time. Ask yourself this. If the reverse were true, if the aide that were always with Donald Trump, if that person's spouse were continually sending privates, lewd photos to people, what would the press have done? What would your Facebook page look like? I know what mine would look like. It would be, this guy needs to go. He is unfit. Look at his aide, fired. The kindest thing that would be said would be that, oh, Donald Trump's aide, who keeps sending dirty pictures of himself to other people, other females to whom he's not married. You got to end it, man. The nicest thing would be that guy's got to be fired. In the Clinton campaign, did you hear that? No. As a matter of fact, the same media called some scum like Ted Kennedy, who killed a woman, the lion of the Senate. Stefan Molyneux had this thing on it, and it was brilliant because he brings up these idiosyncrasies. He brings up these people who defend the indefensible. Ted Kennedy, right, killed somebody and then tried to cover it up, and then, because he's so connected, managed to get away. The woman died. She drowned in a car. They were in a wreck, and she got stuck, and he got out. And he didn't go try to get help. He went to try to create his alibi. And that girl died. And it came out later that she didn't die right away. She was stuck in the car, and she was working through the little bit of air that was left in the vehicle, and they found scratch marks and trying to pound the glass. I mean, that's a really, really crappy way to go. And this guy was responsible. And what did your corporate liberal press, Democratic press, I don't know what to call it, biased press, what'd they do? Not much. The lion of the Senate. So, to end this, what you're going to see is that the mainstream media is not only rabidly corrupt, but to a level that has become disgusting and downright strange. I guess they see the writing on the wall. Go to newspaperdeathwatch.com and you'll see what I'm talking about. But also this, two things. One is many of the regular people, when it comes to political stuff, they're intellectually lazy too. And I don't mind intellectually lazy, or you don't pay attention to stuff, you're not into that, you don't pay attention. That's great. No problem. Good for you. But people will start spouting opinions, strong opinions. That person's good and that person's bad. And they'll have no basis other than what Fox, MSNBC, ABC, CBS, CNN tell them. That'll be their basis. And they will have strong opinions based on that. Those people are fools and not to be trusted. Their judgment in everything political should be ignored by you. I ignore it. And I'll leave you with this one last quote, and this will have to be a topic, I guess, for another video cast. Hey, I just keep coming. I got more where that came from. You're going to get more of me whether you like it or not. Now, my fans can't get enough, but you'll get some too. But the topic I want to leave you with is, think about this, and I'm trying to remember where I heard it because I like to give credit to people whose ideas I steal. But someone said, if the news is this bad now, right, and we're finding out the news is really this bad, think about how bad the history is. Think about how bad the historical record is. If this is what the news is all about now, and they're just atrocious. They're just terrible. It's biased beyond belief. And it's so stupid. It's biased towards the Democratic political party. I don't know why it went that way. It kind of went the conservative way 65 years ago, I think. But I'm not, that would be a good research project. But it's just, why Democrats? I don't get it. Right? Ask somebody, do you think Hillary Clinton, if Mexican people generally voted for Republicans, would she be pushing for open borders and diversity with Mexico and Mexican immigration and all this kind of stuff if they voted for Republicans? Right? Ask somebody that someday. See what happens. Test these people out. Ask them where they get their info. And if you can do that, you'll set yourself apart, be quite a bit smarter, and I think you'll be able to navigate the world much better. All right, we'll talk again. Got more where this came from. Take care. TheFreelanceTeacher.com.